Let me open this up to my panel this evening. Mohan Krishna of the BJP, Nivedit Alva of the Congress, and Mr. AK Jain, who's a former IPS, is joining us on the broadcast. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation, and a very good evening to all of you. I'd begin with Mr. AK Jain. Mr. Jain, the murder that has been that's come to light out of Belagavi in Karnataka, of course, that actually sparked a series of protests from members of the Jain community. However, the other aspect was that the Jain community came out in the open and they said that they were ready to forgive the killers, and then they stopped the protest because they were satisfied with the investigation. Now the BJP is claiming that there is a conspiracy theory. There was more to it than just financial dealings gone wrong. How do you choose to respond to all of these allegations that are being made in the wake of the murder?
There is no question of forgiving the perpetrators of such a heinous crime, gruesome crime. Naturally, Jain Monk, one or two Jain monks have said that they should be forgiven and they should reform themselves. Naturally, state government and the police cannot forgive such a gruesome murder. They will take drastic action against these people, and it should be taken because it has sent very wrong signal throughout the country. Because Jains, by and large, are a very peaceful community, and they have no possessions. So there should be inquiry into this allegation of financial deals also. And one should not forget that one of the perpetrators of the crime is a Muslim. He chopped off the hands, he chopped off the legs, he chopped the head. So why such a gruesome murder was committed? Why in such a brutal fashion? That should be investigated, and who all are behind it, and is this theory correct?
Mr. Jain, when you talk about the perpetrators of the crime, one of the persons who's also been apprehended and arrested is also going by the name Narayan Mali. He's not a Muslim, so why just comment on one particular perpetrator and leave aside the other and give it a communal color?
No, but the chopping was done by this person only, Hassan Dalat.
The charge sheet is not out, sir. How do you know about this?
No, I have read about it. I have talked to several people. There have been processions. There have been protests. And
like who are these people? I want to understand because we would not want to put any facts which are incorrect on the broadcast, sir.
No. I am not saying anything which is incorrect. I have been DGP of UP. So I will never say such a thing. But there is a general feeling after the change of government, and this should not be there, that anti-Hindu government has come. So this type of feeling, if it goes to the criminals and bad elements, they will start committing crimes.
Okay.
I have been reading about the statements of ministers even before the formation of the government that anti-cow slaughter law will be repealed. Anti-conversion.
No, that will digress the debate. Let's actually stick to the Jain monk's murder. Nivedit Alva, this point that Mr. Jain is making, that there is one perpetrator who happens to be coming from the Muslim religion and he is involved and he's the one who was responsible in chopping the body. I really don't know where the information is coming from, but I'd like the argument that the Congress party is going to be making vis-a-vis these arguments that are also akin with the arguments that the BJP is making, by the way. I want to understand that G. Parameshwara met with the stakeholders and members of the community who were earlier wanting to fast until death over this murder, this killing. But later, they were satisfied with the way the investigation has been progressing. How do you think that narrative is really starting to change?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
To start with, I'd like to go on record in saying that this is an absolutely a gruesome murder, and there is no two ways about it that we have to get to the bottom of this. There have been statements made about the investigation on the floor of the Assembly by the Honorable Chief Minister and the Home Minister. The Home Minister even visited the spot yesterday and met with all the concerned aggrieved parties and stakeholders. Apart from that, within a record time, within 6 or 7 hours on the day that it came to light, the perpetrators were found out and arrested, and they have already even so to say admitted to the crime. The investigation is still ongoing to get to the bottom of various other parts which have been coming in the media, which we have read in the media, such as loans, money, and all that, which I would not like to comment on because I don't know, and that is the path the investigation is taking. Now, in such a heinous murder, and when something like this has happened, I think to start talking about religion and start talking about things itself explains the background of where this is coming from. The fact that all of this, to answer your question, where is this coming from and why is the assembly being held to ransom, is because the BJP hasn't been able to elect a member of the leader of the opposition yet. And they were being questioned by the government on a daily basis. So this is the way that they've been able to come out with. And I'm sorry to be in Karnataka and to be hearing things about law and order in our state from a former DGP of police in UP making such statements as a former IPS officer, talking about religion and stuff like that, which I find is itself, I mean, it's not worth getting into because it explains his mindset and what he's trying to stoke at the same time. Investigation is ongoing. They have already been apprehended. The detailed investigation is ongoing, and in a few days, everything will be out. So how is this different? And the Home Minister himself has visited the site, met all the aggrieved parties, and explained to them what the process of law is and what exactly is going on, which is why they were happy yesterday and they said, yes, this is fine. So what is being done now, separate teams being sent to Mysore, sent to whatever, is basically in a bid to try and stoke some communal tension. They still haven't gotten over the fact of the drubbing they got in the assembly elections a couple of months ago.
Okay, Mohan
So